Alright, so I do apologize for how late this video is of me posting it. I've been busy, whatnot, but can't tell by the title, can't tell by the thumbnail. I'm gonna be talking about one of the greatest anime films to ever come out, to ever be re-released in theaters. Specifically, for some reason, it was re-released in theaters, and that's none other than Kono Katachi, also known as A Silent Voice. So let's talk about it. So if you're not aware, about a week ago, December 15th/16th, there was actually a re-release of A Silent Voice in select theaters all across the United States, and I actually had the chance to go watch one of these screenings of A Silent Voice. To me, it's a film that's great. It's a film that's peak. I do not care what anyone says. I will rewatch this film 1,000 times, and I will cry 1,000 times for as long as I live. It is one of the greatest things I have ever seen, animated and live action. It's just like one of the best films ever, aside from Interstellar, which is a wonderful, amazing movie. This is a film that like truly encapsulates what it means to be alone, what it means to struggle, what it means to learn to love yourself, because at the end of the day, you can't love anyone until you learn how to love yourself. And that quote essentially comes from Lelouch, of all people, the GOAT himself. He quoted that somewhere in an anime before, or somewhere in the series before, like in Code Geass, but it relates heavily to A Silent Voice, because that's essentially the whole story, the whole premise of Shoyo's character, that he can't really move on from his bullying. He can't really learn to move on from the actions he committed when he was younger. Therefore, he's trying to make amends, make himself feel slightly better by befriending Nishimiya, by learning to be her friend and just growing a bond between them. Ultimately, he tries to, but ultimately he ends up failing, and because of that, he almost dies, not once but twice. The first time he tries to take his own life out. The second time he almost does, but in a way that like he tried to save Nishimiya from committing the ultimate sin. He sacrificed himself for the greater good, because he always could not look people in the eye. He could never understand others after what he did. He thought he deserved what was coming for him, which is ultimately very tragic. Like, it is so sad just seeing someone you bullied, who became your friend, who you really, really care about, just do something that you really, really don't want to do. And that's the whole point of this film. Like, you cannot love yourself, you cannot love others until you learn how to love yourself. It is such a powerful meaning. This whole film is essentially like a trauma film, in my honest opinion, because like it goes into heavy topics such as suicide, such as death, such as murder, such as bullying, which honestly is pretty common nowadays. A lot of people get bullied, a lot of stuff actually happens, and people are often too scared to like reach out to people. And this is one of those films that like ultimately saved me. It's one of those films that changed my perspective on things. Granted, I was actually never a big fan of like romance anime or stuff like this. This is one of those few shows. This is the show that got me into that type of series. It got me into that genre. No matter how many times I watch it, I will always stand by this fact that A Silent Voice is very good. The way that the characters are developed in the film, for the runtime that it has, 2 hours, you get the point. Shoya starts off very narcissistic. He starts off very like goofy, whatever. He doesn't really take things too serious. He doesn't understand how his actions are affecting others. While on the other spectrum, you have Nishimiya, this poor girl who's deaf. She can't really hear, and she essentially takes the blame on herself for like being disabled, for being the way that she is, and she apologizes all the time because she knows everything is her fault. She knows that if it wasn't for her, everyone would be much happier, everyone would be like in a much better place, which is honestly wrong for like an 8-year-old to think like that they think they are the cause, the root of all problems. It is honestly sad. Just saying the backstory at the beginning almost made me cry, but it's not like till the later half of the film, when they start to rekindle, when they start to form a friendship, and when Nishimiya actually starts to develop feelings for Shoya, that it really, really starts to affect you, and you start to think, damn, this is not going to end the way things are, because you could see signs throughout the movie pointing at what Nishimiya was ultimately going to do to herself. She was ultimately going to unalive herself after making amends with people, and seeing how her friendship with Shoya was developing, and like how it sidetracked and ultimately went wrong, made her prove, okay, I gave her the shot at life, I guess life doesn't want me, so I'm just gonna like just go off, just like fall off this world quite literally. And it's not until Shoya ends up finding her by accident and saving her that Nishimiya realizes, wait a minute, someone actually was there and cared for me. And Shoya at the end of it thought, damn, I guess I'm just gonna die because it's what I get. The water feels cold, the water feels warm. Damn. I'm sorry. Damn. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's such a powerful message. Like, letting things go, learning to accept yourself, but only towards the very end of it, you start to realize, damn, this sucks. Like, this sucks. Like, after I learned to live with myself, after I learned to be happy with myself, I pray that I will do whatever it takes just to be a much, much better person. So please give me one more shot. God, please help me. And like, oh yes, that one scene specifically, the jumping bridge. I kid you not, my entire theater was just sobbing when that happened. Not to mention the hospital scene when Nishimiya is getting hit by that one girl. I forgot the name. Is like truly heartbreaking. And it's not only until Shoya's mom comes to rescue her and Nishimiya like goes on her knees and starts to beg her mom for forgiveness, that I'm sorry, this is my fault, I'm really sorry. Like, sorry. This this film is really powerful. Just talking about it, like, I don't know, it makes me sad, like, because everything about it just feels too real, like, too real. I've seen people like do reactions to this film. I've seen therapists react to this film. I've seen a lot of people react and just do commentaries on the film, how like it delivers such a powerful message. And now it's really hard to actually watch it if you've dealt with trauma like this, or if you've ever been in a situation similar to this. And it's just really hard, even for a person that, like, at first when they watched this film didn't really understand the whole message, but towards the end of it became really sympathetic, became very understanding. It just hit different. And when things happen in life, it just happens. As you grow older and older, and you start to see how your actions are reflected as you age, as time progresses, you start to put yourself in the position of Nishimiya and or Shoya, how you either blame yourself or how you ultimately end up moving on with yourself. You live and you learn. Like, that's the whole point of this film. And that's why I think it's still amazing, the fact that you can watch these characters grow. You watch them from kids, you watch them forgive each other, and then you watch them make mistakes, to ultimately learning to accept who they are, to see people for what they are, for people. It is truly such a powerful message. And that's why I think A Silent Voice is still peak. It's one of the greatest anime films, in my personal opinion, one of my favorite films of all time. So much so, I literally have Nishimiya tatted on my arm. It's just golden. I love this movie. I love everything about it. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. As I was rewatching the film in theaters, everyone was crying. It was really sad. It was really quiet. Everyone loved the film. But that's just not me yapping about this film. Go watch it if you haven't done so. So, yeah. See ya. Also, before I end this video, I actually do want to mention, if you are interested in the shirt that I'm actually wearing, me and my friend actually co-own a company. It's called Gumdrop Studios. We make original anime inspired clothing. Not really, but it's like original street brand clothing. Right now we're having a sale all the way up to January 16th. So if you are interested in stuff like this or merchandise similar like that, just feel free to click the link in the bio. Just go support us, because without your support, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'm really just trying to do my own thing. So like, just go buy some shirts. If you're looking for like some cool gifts, or if you're looking just to buy like some cool clothing like this, click the link in the bio. Having a big sale and whatnot. But yeah, I'll catch you guys on next time. And what are your thoughts on A Silent Voice? Do you agree with me that it's peak, that it's great? I think so. I think it's a great film. So yeah.